shit. Come on. Yikes. Come on. Wow. Fucking RNG. Fuck.
This is really good. This little Daddy,
Mm-hmm.
when I come back down, will I be able to still play this?
Yep. That's fine.
Because I'm really liking it. So, are you going to come on the computer?
Nope.
Okay.
All you.
So, I'm really enjoying this Roblox thing. So, and I already paid a lot of work, so I don't want to, like, exit out of it.
Stay logged in. It's fine.
Yeah, I just, like, you know that button where it's, like, a straight line? You know that button that's a straight line?
I'm playing. God damn it. Just goddamn RNG. That sucks. I think I need more potency on my Luke. Oh dear. Oh shit. Oh god. Oh, that's so irritating. I killed him at RNG. I was... Man, oh man, oh man, that sucks. Losing my Emperor early was not ideal. I think I'd have to go just for mass turn meter reduction now. I don't even have my first order officer up to date. Yeah, I think what I'm missing here is I just feel like I'm missing so much potency. Yeah, big time. That is the issue. I'll have to remod for next week on that one. And I definitely need a Zeta as well in my Luke. Well, no worries. Worst things have happened, I guess. I guess what do I want to do now? Gosh. Guess I go with a Rebels team. Although my wedge is not amazing right now, to say the least. And I wonder if... who should I have as my 5th Rebel? If I want to go for some sort of turn meter reduction. Although I think I just want to go for damage at this point, since I know I'm not going to clear it. As you can see, my lineups are not ideal. Alright. Let's go for this anyway. Let's see what happens. That was a really bad attempt. Last week, I had him down to 50% in phase 4. Alright, let's see if I can just get some good amount of damage in here before I go to my other Jedi team. Yeah, that was gross. Wow. Okay, sure. Yeah, that's not great. I guess I will go Jedi and then First Order-ish sort of team. I don't have my Qui-Gon. No, actually. Let's see if I can get some sort of turn meter reduction. Oh. Tebow is not doing the job. Gross. All right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
You save it?
I didn't touch it. I know speed is probably important, but I want to get the damage in when I can. Jesus. Guy's brutal. Going with like a somewhat messed up Jawa team. Again, at this point, I think I just want to go in for pure damage. To the best of my ability, anyway. Ouch. Just pretty much giving it all I have now. Yeah, my first order officer literally has no gear, so I'm really not surprised. And I can't even get the speed down to save my life. Ouch. Well, obliterated. And this is the last hurrah. Well, that didn't go as planned, unfortunately. There was a lot of missed turn meter reduction throughout that for my main team. So I think it might be a potency issue. I know I was really focusing on speed from the last run. Just to go back to that, I was 50% in on phase 4 with my main team before I had a bunch of RNG where I didn't lay any potency and turn meter reduction by extension. So I tried to focus more on speed, maybe have my guys attack one more time before Rancor's turn meter got to the end, but I think by doing that, I removed a lot of my good potency. Yeah, I don't have the greatest of mods either, which is unfortunate, but I don't have the resistance characters right now for the good 4-piece speed mods. Yeah, so, I really need to get on that. That's okay. I mean, go back to the drawing board and figure it all out. I have yet to complete a full Rancor run, full clear on my own. I feel good. I feel like I'm getting close. I think it's just a matter of a couple more tweaking with the mod sets, and then going from there. I mean, if I look at my Vader's potency, I'm at about 60%, just under, which ideally I'd want to try to hit 70 if possible, but 60 is okay. Whereas if we look at my Luke's, he's sitting at 16%, which is just atrocious. So I've got to reconfigure his mods for potency because his were really my bread and butter last time. So I'm really leaning heavily on Luke for his turn meter reduction. His speed's not even at 200. So, I mean, he needs to be reducing turn meter every single time he hits. Otherwise, it is a big liability. And there was multiple times where Rancor was hitting me. So that's something I need to reconfigure. And then also my TIE Fighter pilot, his speed is 230, potency at 53, which is okay. I mean, he's a good partner with Vader, and my Palpatine needs a lot of help. Like, his potency's okay, but his speed is awful, as you can see at 159. I really need to up his speed. And then for my Qui-Gon Jinn, as you can see here, like he's got some pretty D stuff. Speed almost 200, and his potency is at 83. So he's doing some work, at least from his end. But Luke Skywalker's doesn't have the right mods on right now, and that's clear to me. So I need to rethink that. But at the end of the day, I'd rather complete this and do it on my own rather than just looking at forums and reading everything about what are the perfect mods on every character for a solo Rancor run. I'm a little hesitant on that. To me, that's not an ideal way of playing the game for me. So trial and error, really, it's what it comes down to for myself. Also, too, I think my Rebels gear need to come up a lot. Like, you know, I've got some really good damage dealers, and of course, R2-D2 working in partnership with Princess Leia is absolutely insane from a damage perspective, especially when coupled with Biggs. But Wedge here is my big liability, so I think I really need to focus on getting him to gear 11 because he is by far the weakest and the lowest health character on my squad for Rebels. And as you can see here, his mods are just awful. So that's going to be what I'm going to focus on this week. See what I can do to up the ante a little bit with primarily my main team, and then I think from there, then I'll start modifying my second tier groups like Rebels, and I'm working on a First Order squad. But that I find is really challenging, and also too, I'm trying to prepare for Thrawn Vent, which who knows what's going to show up, but just to give you a sense. I didn't do anything with my Phoenix characters when they were launched because I just couldn't be bothered. I was focusing on my solo Rancor team. So I completely negated doing anything with these guys here. So that's my focus, at least for the next couple of months, trying to get them to 6 stars and ideally 7 if possible. I really want a 7-star Thrawn, but we'll see how that goes. Apologize to everybody who's watching. It was a really poor attempt on my end. Reconfigured the mods, didn't go so well, found out the hard way. But as you can see here, I'm playing with a Commander Luke Skywalker, Gear 11. I don't have any Zetas in him at all. In fact, there's a lot left to be desired with respect to his rebel maneuvers and learn control. But certainly, I do want to get at least a Zeta in his ability. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, Commander Luke Skywalker is an absolute all-star. He's so much fun to play, and when you partner him, like in my arena team, I'll just quickly show this here. Not that it's anything to be thrilled about, but I don't have it here. So anyways, my arena team is really dependent upon who I'm facing. So Emperor Palpatine or Darth Vader are interchangeable from a leader perspective. If I'm going against a heavy rebel squad, then certainly Palpatine is my bread and butter. But if I'm going against like a mixed group or some of the heavier Empire teams that are out there with Nihilus as the lead, then I'll go with my Darth Vader, and I can actually cut through the defense relatively quickly and at ease. So I'll usually have Darth Vader as the lead if that's the case, Commander Luke Skywalker, Emperor Palpatine, TIE Fighter, and then I really like having my R2-D2 in the mix. I've been going back and forth with Count Dooku, but R2 just seems to provide a lot of nuisance to the opposite team, especially when they're on defense, just because it forces them to single target. And so one of the big issues that I have as my team is with the Rebel squads, where they can just come out and one-shot you with ease. So I want to try to mitigate that as best as possible, and R2's speed needs to come up a hell of a lot to that for that to happen. But he is a lot of fun in the group. And so we'll see. I mean, we'll see if there are any future changes to any of these tunes that come up with the territory battles. But what I've been trying to do is just trying to keep everybody up to date. So as you can see, I mean, I have a couple of level 7s, star 7s that I'm just trying to keep around in the event that those battles require some of these broad teams, because that's my fear, is that they'll require 5, 6, 7 stars in the later stages, and I've only got, you know, a lot of these guys here in the lower star levels. So We shall see. I'm sure we're all worried about that. I was fortunate with respect to the Commander Luke event that I already had all the Rebel characters. So I was fortunate that I had them already. And in fact, I already had Old Ben at 7 stars just as the event was announced. And the only one I had outstanding was my 7-star R2. So once I got him, then Commander Luke was a little bit easier to obtain. And yeah, I remember banging my head against the wall for about 24 hours trying to get Commander Luke. And what I did was I just ended up stockpiling all the gear that I had anticipated needing for him. And so when I did finally get him 7-starred, then I had already all the gear for the most part, most of the mats, some Omegas. The purples were a bit of the pain in the ass, and that's where I'm short now. But ultimately, it worked out really well, and I was very fortunate. But I know there's a lot of people who are less than thrilled about how that happened. So, you know, my hope is that EA doesn't go forward with that again, or at least give people the opportunity to at least farm a little bit. I know a lot of people felt like they were forced either to not have a Luke Skywalker or to end up spending, you know, 30, 50, 100, 300, whatever the amount you needed. And that's really, you know, poor position to put people in financially, especially if, you know, they're not ballers and they have all the money laying around. They've got family to support, etc. But I also understand that they didn't want everybody to have access to Luke at the same time. So I get it. But again, it felt just by sheer luck that I had the right tunes in order to get Luke Skywalker. And like I said, he's been an all-star. And as you can see here, I mean, I only have his power up to 15,000. I mean, I've seen him get past 20,000 in Galactic War and some videos I've watched. So, you know, another 5,000, and I can only imagine the power level that he has. It's quite incredible. So, yeah, it was pretty cool stuff, to be honest. Anyways, everyone, I appreciate you showing up for this. Again, it didn't go so well. We'll circle back here to show you the raid. It didn't go well in my favor at all. And you know what? Next week's another opportunity. So I'm currently sitting at 5.6 mil. Last week I had, oh gosh, what was it? 9 mil or very close to it, give or take. So really close to soloing it last week. And then this week was sort of a regression. Some of my other teammates are locking and loading in here. And so I'm pretty close to unlocking Han Solo as well. Again, I haven't been playing for a super long amount of time, but as you can see here, getting pretty close. And from what I've seen and what I've experienced, he's an absolute monster in terms of a damage output, especially when he's Zetaed. My question, though, is what is he like with before 7 stars, if he's viable at all? So I'd be curious to hear what your thoughts or opinions are, if anybody has any experience with Han Solo before he went 7 stars, or even with the new rework. So I'm just wondering how far I should gear him along. So well, everyone, thanks again for your time. I'll be streaming. What I'd like to do is sort of keep a track record of all my solo attempts on YouTube. So I think for every solo attempt moving forward, I'm going to make a point of streaming it. And certainly I welcome any recommendations, feedback, suggestions you have in order to get me to that point of being able to solo them effectively. And or conversely, you know, if you're a newer player or a player who feels like they're not sure what type of teams to focus on, let me know. Send me a message, write a comment, and I'll be more than happy to provide any support that I can. So thanks again, everyone. Appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next couple days.